Hey everyone, Michelle Frere here, Member of Parliament for Peterborough, Kawartha, and I'm just going in to speak with a few people who are having difficulties with Liberal programming. I know, shocking. And as I was driving downtown Peterborough, I saw folks on the side of the street using substances, and which is a fairly common thing here in Peterborough and across the country. And it made me think about, why do people use substances, right? It's often a coping mechanism. We talk a lot about this when we're studying sort of domestic violence, and we're studying all these really hard things and trauma, which we look at a lot of in Status of Women Committee. And sometimes, you were prescribed substances and, they were highly addictive. Maybe you got hurt at work, or something happened to you, or you had a surgery, or there's all different things, but it's ultimately pain management, whether that's physical pain or emotional or psychological pain. Substances mask how you feel, right? Because if you feel terrible, it's very hard to sit with your feelings if you've never learned how to do that in a good way. And I couldn't help but think about how our government, our federal government, and in particular Justin Trudeau, has made life so much worse for Canadians. We have the lowest GDP that we've ever had. That means that we are poorer than we've ever had. So that means we've never worked so hard and made such little money. We've never been poorer. And the toll that takes on your morale and your ability to provide for your family, and that overwhelming feeling, and the most vulnerable get crunched out here, the middle class and the people who are already at the bottom end of the socioeconomic pole. And so, you think about how diabolical it is that we have an opioid crisis in this country, we have a drug crisis in this country, and we have a low productivity and a low quality of life in this country. Those two things are not coincidental. And, when you think about safe supply, which is just the most ludicrous concept ever, it is not safe ever. You have people, letting somebody have unsupervised drug use is the most uncompassionate thing you can do. If somebody is self-harming themselves, which is what drugs do, it is self-harm. It is not good for you. It is self-harm. And if the people around you are not helping you through that, are not helping you understand why, not offering you treatment and recovery options, not helping you break free from that cycle, that's not compassionate leadership. It is compassionate to meet people where they're at and not have judgment. It is not compassionate to leave them there. And there are so many amazing solutions to this crisis. And Justin Trudeau's Whacko policies turn a blind eye to it. Go to Bruce Oak Recovery Center in Winnipeg. Unbelievable. And they did it. And these are treatment and recovery facilities. We have Right to Heal here in Peterborough. This is Peggy Shaughnessy. This woman has dedicated her entire life to understanding trauma and addictions. She has answers. She doesn't get any federal funding, and it's just wild what they've created in this narrative that they've created. And they will not accept reality. They just don't accept reality. I called them out in the House of Commons on this last week. And one of the ministers, I said, who's protecting our children? Because the Minister of Families and Children said it's not her responsibility and it's not her problem. It's not her problem that the number one cause of death for kids aged 10 in British Columbia is opioids. It's not her problem. So my question was, well, whose problem is it? If it's not your problem, who is the Minister for Children? Whose problem is it? And who's going to protect these children and make the legalization, stop the legalization of crack, meth, and fentanyl? And you know what? Do you know what the minister did after question period? She got up and she asked me to apologize for using the word addicts. That's what they're going to fight on. So I phoned a couple people I know, and I'm like, who work in the industry. I asked a former addict, I said, is this an offensive word? No, Michelle, that's what it is. That is reality. And it's like, you can't change nomenclature. You can't change the words to fit your narrative or to make, oh, we're offending people. You know what's hurting people? Whacko policies that give out drugs, that further addiction, like whacko policies where you can't find affordable housing, whacko policies that despite going to work and working hard every single day, you still have to use a food bank. Whacko policies that kids are so disconnected from their families, they're out doing who knows what. Buying safe supply that's been diverted on the street for $1 a pill. Getting addicted to opioids. When you see it, it's just so blatant. And that is why, people go, why are you so negative all the time? Why? You can't fix something if you don't acknowledge it. And the liberals have this toxic positivity that is mind-blowing. Everything's great. We're doing a great job. Nothing's ever been, I'm so wonderful. Go outside. Go downtown. I was downtown Cobourg. Cobourg is one of the most beautiful communities. It's on Lake Ontario. They have a massive tent city. Like, in what planet in Canada is that okay? You have seniors who are starving to death. And it's like the gaslighting and the toxic behavior is incredible. And that is why you have such a divide. Like, instead of acknowledging these problems that we have and saying, okay, and then, okay, I guess, the best thing a leader can do is be like, okay, we tried that. It didn't work. Let's pivot and try something else. Oh, no. Justin Trudeau, no, he doubles down on everything. He is incapable. He is incompetent. He is dangerous. Like, there's no other word to say that to you. It's so sad. Like, the families that are impacted by addiction are not some, like, they're normal families. Like, normal, whatever the heck normal means. I mean, these are middle class, sometimes high class, high income families. Like, it's baffling. It is baffling what this guy does. And you have to call a spade a spade. It is Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers. Anything mentionable is manageable. But what they try to do is they avoid mentioning it. That is their whole tactic. Thanks for listening to me. We are fighting. There are solutions. There are so many solutions. There are so many amazing people doing great things. And we will change this road we're on. Pierre Poilievre has said this repeatedly. We will invest in treatment and recovery. We will invest in housing. We will invest in building people up so they know their worth and their value, and they don't have to sedate themselves from the misery that they are living in. We can do better. We have to.